Hi, this is Scott, and here's my story. Let me start off by saying that I've done seasonal work for many, many years, and I love it. But there's a downside to everything, and one downside is that I don't get to meet a lot of women my age. So a few years ago, I decided I was going to take the season off. I was going to move in with my dad down in West Palm Beach, Florida, and get involved in that batshit crazy activity of online dating. So, I'm online one night with this woman, and we chat a bit, and we decide to meet up. I ask her where she wants to meet, and she mentions this bar, swanky bar in Boca Raton, Florida, which is a very wealthy area. Not really my type, but I agreed. So, a few hours before we're supposed to meet up, I get a message from her. She's canceled. She gives no reason, no excuse, no apology. So, whatever, fine. 3 weeks later, I hear from her and she says, "So when are we going to meet up?" I wrote back, 3 weeks ago. So, against my better judgment, we decide we're going to meet up again. So I go down to that same bar and I'm waiting. I'm there on time. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. No phone call from her, no text, nothing. Finally, I'm about to leave, but she ends up showing up. She comes towards me, and then she brushes right by me as she says, "Let's go to the bar, Steve." Well, no hello, no apology, and my name's not Steve. So, anyhow, I really should have walked away right then, but I sensed that there might be a good story there, and I live for a good story. So, I actually did follow her to the bar. When we got to the bar, the bartender took our order, and she said, "I'll have the most expensive glass of wine that you have." And I'd about had it with this woman at that point. She didn't even know what she was ordering. So I am a really nice guy, as people know me will tell you, but I've had it. So I said to the bartender, "Hold on." And I said to this woman, "Do you really think you can tell the difference between the most expensive glass of wine that this bar has from an ordinary glass of house wine?" Well, she just laughed at me. So then I said, "Well, if you can tell that, you obviously can tell the most expensive bottle of wine that they have here from an ordinary glass of house wine." She laughed even harder. So I said, "Fine, let's have a contest. If you can tell the difference, um, great. Let's buy this most expensive bottle of wine. I'll pay for it if you can tell the difference. If you can't, the wine's on you." So she agreed. Now, little did she know that I was laying a bit of a trap for her, because at that point I said, "You know, just two glasses of wine, that doesn't prove much that you can identify them both. We really need to have four glasses of wine, two of each. That will prove to me that you really can tell the difference." Now, she seemed a little bit more hesitant, but she'd already committed herself, so she agreed. So, at this point, I have to tell you, I know a couple things that this woman doesn't. One is that there have been many blind taste tests done over the years that have proven that people can't tell an expensive wine from a much cheaper wine. It's been proven over and over. Most evidently, a number of years ago, when there was this $1.99 bottle of wine from Trader Joe's, known as Two Buck Chuck, was entered into this prestigious wine contest and beat 2,300 other competitors to win a double gold medal. The other thing I knew that perhaps she didn't was a little bit about statistics. And the fact is, if she couldn't tell the difference between the two wines, which I didn't think she could, the chances of her correctly identifying four different glasses would be 16 to 1, and I really like those odds. So we keyed in the bartender on the little contest here. He started setting up the four glasses and also filled out the identity of those glasses on bar napkins, flipped them over, and set them in front of each of the glasses. Meanwhile, this woman had her back turned, so she didn't see what was going on. And I thought to myself, why am I embarrassing this woman when I can humiliate her? So then I made an announcement to everybody in the bar. I said, "Folks, listen up. My name is Scott." And I turned to her and said, "Not Steve." And we have this little contest going up here. This woman who's with me, she says she can tell the very expensive glass of wine from a much cheaper glass of wine, and I said she can't. We're having a contest, and you're welcome to all watch. Well, we had the attention of the bar now, and the pressure was on her. So she turns around, she picks up that first glass of wine by the stem, she rolls it around a little bit in the glass as if that's going to make a difference. She tastes the wine, and after a moment, she says, "That's the more expensive wine." Well, as soon as she said that, I broke into a big smile. I slapped my hand down on the bar and let out this big laugh. At which point, she went beet red. She jumped off that bar stool and she ran out of the bar. Now, the bartender was particularly amused by this all until I said to him, "Well, you know the deal here. I'm not paying for that $150 bottle of wine, and if you don't chase her down, I guess you are." So, realizing the reality of that, he ran out and he caught up with her. And of course, she wasn't going to come back into the bar, but he got her credit card and he ran it. So there I am sitting in this swanky bar in Boca Raton with this $150 bottle of wine. And I noticed that there were these three women nearby, and they seemed to be amused by the whole thing that had just happened. And so I asked the bartender for four fresh glasses, and I walked over there with the glasses and the bottle, and I said, "Excuse me, ladies, would you care to share with me the finest bottle of wine that this establishment has to offer?" Well, of course they said yes, and I had a really good time with these women. We finished off the bottle, and at the end of the night, I actually took the bottle with me because I thought it would come in use, and it did. I tricked many people over the years with this bottle of wine. I wish I could tell more of this story because it's really great, but I only have 8 minutes. In any respect, I actually left out what is arguably the best part of the story. You see, when I had this contest with this woman, and she picked up that first glass and she twirled it around and she tasted it and she proclaimed that it was the more expensive wine. And then when I broke into a big smile and slapped my hand down at the bar and let out a big laugh, I'd actually tricked her. You see, she she jumped off that bar stool and ran out of the bar without even bothering to turn over that first bar napkin. And though I really don't think she could have identified all four glasses and think she got lucky on the first one, the fact is that first glass really was the more expensive bottle of wine.